Hello everyone. So today, welcome to our another live session with today our special guest is going to be Lindy Garnu. She's going to be one of our academic advisors, and I'm going to try to quickly add our speaker guest. Let's see. So we're going to be waiting for our academic advisor to be joining us, and we're going to have a quick roll of a couple of questions that we have with her. Lindy Garnu. Okay, our advisor has just joined. Just gotta quickly invite her real quick. Okay. Awesome. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear me?
Awesome. I can hear you too.
Fantastic. I just think my screen is a bit, just cleaning it up. There, that seems less fuzzy. Okay, perfect.
Bright and clear. Welcome to our live, Lindy. I'm so glad you could take the time to join us today. And I'm just going to give a quick introduction to our viewers. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Instagram Live with our academic advisor, Lindy Garnu. And firstly, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Jan Maria Joseph. I work with Champlain College as a college ambassador. And I'm just gonna let Lindy take the floor now.
Great. Thanks so much, Joanne, for inviting me here today. It's really an honor to come and speak to students. And, I miss it so much. I'm currently working from home. Pardon the background.
Yeah.
And it's just exciting to connect, and I'm really happy to be here to be of service. So I don't know if there's a way for students to ask questions, but if there is anything, I'm happy to address it in the time period that we have here today.
Awesome.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah.
Let our viewers know, thank you for all those who have joined us. So because Lindy is our advisor, if you have any questions, you can shoot them in our comment box below. And as we go through the live, I will be answering questions and bringing it up to you, Lindy. But how this Instagram Live is going to work today is we're going to have a back and forth discussion. I'm going to be shooting out a few questions, some of it that were sent to students. So I'm just going to be reading out a few questions, and then we're curious to hear what your advice is going to be.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, awesome. So let's get started. So our first question here, Lindy, is that you're an advisor for Champlain College, right?
Yes.
So we were hoping to understand what an advisor is and how does your role look like?
Yeah. So an academic advisor is really somebody who's here to help students. We're really here for students. That's the main thing we do. Some of the work that we do with students includes clarifying academic goals. So when we meet with students, much of the time it's really focused on you and what it is you want out of your educational experience. You invest so much time, money, resources, energy into your journey at Trent. So we're really here to help clarify, what is it that you value? What is it that you hope to get out of this experience? It's such a big part of your life, and it just like anything in life, if you've put so much into it, you want to make sure you're meeting with someone to talk about it, to make sure you're getting the true value.
Exactly.
And advising's here to help with that. So one way we do it is through talking about your goals, what your hopes and dreams are, and how can Trent help you get there. So
Exactly.
that's one big piece. Another thing we do is, we help students with course selection. I mean, it's sort of on the smaller end, right, of the big, the big dream visioning. But we also really, we help you choose your courses. We help you choose your programs. Whenever changes need to be made, we're here to help you through that process. So if you're thinking about changing your major and you want to talk to somebody about it, academic advising is a great place to come to have those conversations. The other thing, we help students understand academic regulations. So if you're needing to petition something, if you're thinking about a grade appeal, if you are anything that feels like there's probably a policy or a rule, or maybe it's allowed, maybe it's not allowed, and you're not sure because there's just, going through the academic calendar just feels like too much work to do, and so much reading, and just where is the information. Academic advisors in that way, we're sort of like human encyclopedias around what the university will allow students to do. So we're really great resources from that perspective. Speaking of resources, the other great thing academic advisors do is we help students connect with other services on campus. So if you come to us, and maybe we'll talk about your goals, and we'll talk about your dreams, and we'll talk about your hopes for the future, and we'll create a plan together. But maybe you're also struggling with some mental health. I mean, isn't everybody right now? It's March. We've just come off of a really challenging winter. We are all experiencing a global pandemic. I mean, it's been a hard go for so many people. And so we're constantly referring students to counseling, to health services, to academic skills. If you need a little extra push, a little extra motivation to get through some of those assignments. From time to time, we refer to various different peer support groups on campus if you're looking to connect with other students. Lots and lots of different ways to connect with other programs and services at Trent. And if you're not sure where to go, academic advising is a really great place to start that journey. Overall, we're really here to help you take charge of your academic time at Trent, and what your overall education is, and what it's going to look like for you. It's different for every student. So, often we will be meeting with students, and someone will say, well, my friend says, that's amazing for your friend. Let's talk about you and what you want, because everyone's experience is a little bit different. And so we're here to help you make the most of it.
Exactly. Like, I know, like, whatever you said, it's just like an umbrella description of what all academic advisors on campus do. And being a student myself, I've received so much help. Like, even I have been lost with for selection at one point. I've got help with my degree check-in. And the fact that I'm even graduating this summer, it wouldn't have been completely possible if I wouldn't have gotten the advice and the support that the academic our college had given, or any college as a matter of fact. So thank you for giving our viewers a little description of what academic is and what you folks do as well. And I would 100% strongly encourage every viewer to, like, fully utilize the that are available on campus through you all. Okay, so our second question for today is, Champlain has drop-ins happening every Wednesday, right? So, Lindy, how do drop-ins work, and what type of questions can we ask you?
Yeah, so drop-ins with me happen on Wednesday mornings between 9 and noon. To book the appointment, you can call the academic advising line. The phone number is 705-748-1011, extension 7333. And if you don't remember that, it is available on the academic advising website. You can just pop it into the little sort of Trent University Google there, and academic advising will come up. And so you can call in to book the appointment, and a student staff member, maybe Joanne, will answer the phone and we'll help you book that 15-minute appointment. We offer appointments over the phone currently, or through video chat, so whichever you prefer can be arranged. If you're a student living internationally and you need some assistance booking that appointment, you can always email champlain@trentu.ca, and they'll assist you to book that way. So if calling in is a challenge, we've got a little bit of a workaround there for you with that one. Really great overall topics when it comes to drop-in are things that feel really immediate. So if there's something going on with a course that you're currently taking, that's more of an immediate issue. You don't want to wait till the end of the course to address whatever's going on. Come to a drop-in appointment. Often academic advisors, we're booking for our full 30-minute appointments. We're sometimes booking 3 to 4 weeks in advance. So you don't want to wait that long. Come to a drop-in. Other things, if you're thinking about dropping a course, a drop-in appointment is really the way to go, because especially right now, because the drop deadline is March 15th, which is Monday of next week. So you want to make sure that you're not booking an appointment to talk about dropping a class, and you're booking that appointment for 3 weeks past the drop deadline, right? So really, if anything is starting to feel a little immediate, and if you're not even sure, come to drop-in. We'll do what we can in the 15 minutes. And if we have to book you a follow-up appointment, then we can do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for giving them like idea, because I know the drop-in deadline is like coming up soon, and I really hope students do book in a few appointments during our Wednesday drop-ins to get immediate advice. And even being a student there, I've answered a couple of calls, and every time a student has been done talking to you, or they always feel a relief, especially when the drop deadline's like so soon.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lenny, so we have our third question here. So now summer is approaching and the registration has opened up as right. So, do you have any tips for registering for summer courses?
I do. My first tip is to start now. Don't wait until April. Don't to register for courses. If there's a course that you think that you want to take, I would register for it now. Just because there's some, I worry that courses will fill up. And I think this is also a worry that a lot of students have. But I always say register earlier. And then if you change your mind, you can drop it before the course starts. But at least you're in it. That way, if there's something you need and you know you really want, like for instance, often students really want to take American Sign Language. And sometimes it's hard to get into during the academic year. It's offered in the summer. I'm not sure if it's currently full or not. However, if it's something you're interested in taking in the summer, go look at it now and start looking to get into it now rather than waiting until the end of April. Registration for the first part of summer courses closes on May 3rd. So you want to make sure you're in those courses as soon as possible. If you've got questions about summer courses and which ones would be best for you and, you know, how does it work, all of those types of things, Drop-In is a great place to come for any questions about summer courses, and we can certainly start the conversation there.
Exactly. Perfect. I mean, you just summed up what I was thinking too, because even as a student, and I just recently registered for my final course to graduate, and classes like seats get booked so quickly. So it's important, like you said, to just immediately start now rather than regretting it later. So wonderful point, Lindy. And now we have our fourth question from our students. Sometimes students have questions regarding the Indigenous course requirement. I'm sure we've had a couple of drop requirements regarding the course requirement for Indigenous courses. What are your thoughts on it?
So the Indigenous course requirement is that every student who comes to Trent beginning in the fall of 2018 and beyond must complete a half a credit in Indigenous Studies, a course that is accredited through, it has to be an Indigenous Studies requirement course, as part of their degree, whether they're an Indigenous Studies student or not. So if you're a student who's coming to Trent and you're going to take biology, or you're going to take geography, or you're going to take something that has nothing to do seemingly with Indigenous Studies, you still need to take at least a half credit at some point during your degree. It doesn't have to be your first year. It can be at any point as long as you have it before you apply to graduate. You must take it at some point. And so Trent University has created this as an opportunity for every student, every Trent student, to be a part of Truth and Reconciliation between Indigenous communities and Canada. And it's sort of a bit of a way for us all to learn more about Indigenous issues and about Indigenous histories through taking this one course. So I see it as a really fantastic opportunity for all students and something that really sets Trent apart. And I really hope that every student will really cherish the opportunity to take at least one half credit in Indigenous Studies at some point during your academic career.
Exactly. And I totally agree. I mean, it's really important, especially being part of Trent and Trent having its important to be aware of the Indigenous community. And there's so much that you could possibly learn as well. So I would say wonderful advice, Lindy. And now
Yes,
finally,
I just want to say just one
of course.
little thing that I forgot to say. If you have questions about it or wondering which would be the best course for you, because there's so many fantastic Indigenous Studies courses to take, again, a great opportunity to book a drop-in appointment, because we could certainly talk about what options might work best with the degree that you're taking.
100%. Totally agree. And yeah, finally, our final question for our today's live would be, what do you think a degree, what would you recommend, and why would you to recommend a student to do it?
Okay. Okay, so a degree check. So I missed. I don't know if it was my phone cut out or if every student didn't hear the question. But the question was, what is a degree check, and when would a student, like, when would be a good time for a student to come and have a degree check? Correct? Awesome.
Thank you for
So yes. Oh, I just want to check in. So a degree check is when a student comes and meets with an advisor, and we look through all of the courses that you have done, and we compare it with the degree requirements that are in the academic calendar that really spell out what it is you're required to do for your particular degree. So we look at and we compare the two, and we figure out, okay, so you've done these many requirements are finished, and then we look at what do you still need to complete in order to be done your degree, and we create like a little summary. Some of us email that summary to you. Sometimes you take notes on it, but you leave that appointment knowing or understanding what it is that you still need to complete in order to have finished, in order to be able to graduate with your degree. So I highly recommend degree checks for many students, every student. Usually in your second year, I would say would be a good time to potentially start. Once you've got, once you're about on your way towards 10 credits, if you have more than 10 credits, haven't had a degree check yet, I certainly think it would make sense to book an appointment with an advisor to talk about that. If you have not, if you're in your first year and just about to go into your second year, it's also a great time to book an appointment with an advisor because we can take a look at those. You probably won't have enough credits complete that we will need to do a full degree check, but we'll certainly be able to put together an academic or an educational plan for you. So if you're thinking that this is something that might be really helpful to kind of take a look at what are those degree requirements and how are you going to use them and what do you still need to do, I recommend booking a 30-minute appointment with myself or with another academic advisor to look at those requirements for you. A degree check is not something that can be done in a drop-in because it generally does take a full 30 minutes, and it gives us lots of time to talk out various different complexities that sometimes happen with degrees. It gives you lots of opportunity to ask questions where we're not quite as rushed as it would be in a 15-minute appointment.
I can totally vouch for what you just said because I'm a graduating student and I was a little late in the game, but I was still able to do my degree check when I was in my third year, and it really gave me a better idea on what courses I needed to take, what I needed to drop even. And like you said, it really requires a lot of time, at least 30 minutes. So it really gives the advisor the time to look at all the courses that you've taken, what needs to be done, what needs to be, what are the further steps that need to be taken. So I completely agree. And I would also personally advise students to not book a drop-in appointment if you want to talk about degree check because it is time constraining. But that's all the questions that we have, Lindy, for today. And thank you so much for giving us a full run through on what academic advising is and hitting up on some of the questions that students really wanted to have information on. But before we end this live, I wanted to quickly share my screen and show you guys how to book an appointment. Now, I'm just going to quickly flip my camera here. Awesome. Okay, I hope you all can see my screen. And this is my trend. So I would strongly recommend all of you to open your MyTrend account and click onto your student experience portal, which is this little I button icon at the bottom. So just click onto that and it will take you to the portal. And towards your left corner, you have Peterborough campus appointment book. And for Durham students, we have Durham appointment bookings as well, right at the bottom. But now, since we're talking about campus bookings, for example, you click onto it and there you have advising portal. The other resources are academic skills, rebound, peer support, and even Trend International. But since we're focusing on academic advising, I would suggest clicking onto it. And you can even book it by appointment provider or according to our academic advisor, or just view calendar and try to book an appointment. And with that being said, I'm going to quickly flip back to myself. And is there any ending notes that we want our viewers to be aware of, Lindy, before we sign off?
Yeah, I noticed that there was somebody who popped a question in, I think the chat, and I think it had something to do with why I think a new student potentially coming to Trent in the fall. Question about what makes residents at Champlain awesome.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I can speak for myself. I'm not sure, Joanne, if you had lived in residence at Champlain, but I can say that for myself, I was a student at Champlain a long time ago, so things may have changed. But one of the really wonderful things that I think sets Champlain apart from maybe some of the other residences that I'm happy to speak to is it's really, really beautiful residence. Like, it has a historical feel. It's gorgeously set by the river. If you're one of the lucky ones, you'll get a room where you open your window and you're looking out at the water. Like, who gets to say that about a residence room, you know? So like that for me is something that really set the building itself is just architecturally gorgeous. And so I was a learner that enjoyed that really enjoyed kind
100%.
of learning around history. So that's something to me that, you know, if you're thinking about coming to Trent and space really matters to you in terms of beautiful architecture, historical context, it's really gorgeous in that way. I will also say, and this is true of all the colleges, but the support is just wonderful through the colleges. Trent is a college system that really what it means is it's sort of like your college at Trent, it becomes like a little home away from home, and every residence at Trent operates as sort of its own umbrella, its little mini hub, if you will, of support services and of community. So it's a really great way to get connected. And the Champlain College community is a wonderfully welcoming community that sort of bases its identity on adventure and exploration. And so if you feel that you have values that sort of rest with exploration and discovery, perhaps Champlain is the college for you. And I really, you know, I would invite you to check it out. Check it out online. There's lots of information there. Feel free to connect with the Champlain College office to ask questions of our student staff, many of whom have lived in residence more currently than I did. But I would just say as a whole, Trent is a wonderful community, and wherever you end up living, whatever residence that is, you will find a home, you will find a community. And I'm super excited, and I hope I get to see you in the fall when you come.
Thank you, Lindy, for giving us a little idea on Champlain's personality, because so I did not unfortunately have the opportunity to live on campus, but I was living more or less at the annex. But still, I can really relate with the fact that yes, Champlainers, we're really adventurous, we're really outgoing, and I really love the energy that we bring onto our table. And even the Champlain cabinet, the college office ambassadors, we are so together and one, and we're always there to provide you any support that you need. So we are excited for you to join us during our fall semester, and we can't wait to get to know you as well. So with that being said, thank you all for joining our live, and I hope you really learned about our academic advisors and the support that we can provide you. And with that being said, thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you, Lindy, for your time as well. And see you, everybody. Bye.
My pleasure. Thanks, everyone. Best wishes for making it through March. Bye-bye.